I can tell they first came up with the title of this movie since both cards from, well, card games are used as a codename for the agency, with the lead being Nine of Hearts. But also, the heart is the name of the Doomsday device thing. I don't know. This movie is boring. This movie's just boring. That's what I have to say. That's my review. This movie is boring. One of the most boring action films I'd seen. I don't want to be cynical or going with being negative, since I watch a movie to be entertained. And I can't do that if I expect the worst going in. And sometimes I can help if people want, you know, their expectations to be subverted, I guess. I don't know, I hate the phrase. My expectations were subverted. Like, I mean, I'm sure I've said it before, and I'll say it again, but, like, you know, I don't know, it just feels like there's always in every review you hear when it's like someone who's usually negative, and it's like, well, this movie subverted my expectations. But yeah, basically, I saw a new movie on Netflix starring Gal Gadot, and it's one of those movies made just to be another forgettable action movie on Netflix, like the one with Ryan Gosling or the one with Jennifer Lopez, but I didn't get into The Great Man, and I didn't watch Lopez's movie, so maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Lopez's movie is good. You can tell because people are still talking about it. Nah, I kid. No, judging this movie in a vacuum, this just doesn't have a reason to exist. It's sort of the same production company as the Mission Impossible movies, and honestly, this movie just feels like a lesser version of Dead Reckoning in every way. Written by Rcuka and Allison Schroeder, and directed by Tom Harper. The movie is basically the most generic spy movie of the decade so far, where it checks all the marks off the list for a spy movie, except go rogue, so it has something different than the Mission Impossible movies, I guess. The premise is that Gal Gadot is Rachel Stone, who is Gal Gadot, but, you know, her name is Rachel Stone, and is also Nine of Hearts. Okay, Gal Gadot is Rachel Stone, who works at MI6 as a tech agent, with her teammates not suspecting much of her. You know, it's like the first time in the field in the opener, except she's a literal double agent, and she works for the super secret agency, the Charter, with the codename Nine of Hearts, which, why is she undercover in another spy agency? I don't know, other than I guess they thought it'd be something new, like, well, I never seen a movie where a secret agent is a spy for another secret agency that's also, you know, lesser and, you know, it's good. Like, what's the point of just not having someone from, like, a bigger agency saying, okay, we need you guys to work with you guys because of your area of expertise is different from our area of expertise. Like, I feel like that's how, you know, things work. But then again, I don't know. I'm 19. What do I know about how things work? Anyways, when it's revealed to the team, you know, I thought that the movie would be about this team, you know, working together, not realizing her skill set being different, you know, all the circumstances this comes from. Well, one of them betrays the team, kills everyone but Gadot, and is really the bad guy. So I don't know why not just make everyone part of the same agency. It's entirely pointless, and this would be spoiler since this happens an hour in, but I had no idea what this movie was about for the longest time. What happens is Gadot must track down genius computer whiz Keya, played by Alia Bhatt, since she's the, I guess, the key to solving the bad guy. She's the smart one, so she... Well, actually, I have no idea what they do to stop the Doomsday device now I say that. Right. The premise is that Gal Gadot is a spy who must stop the bad guy or else the world is doomed. You know, we need a new movie. That's on the list. That's the premise. I just never cared. Gal Gadot is good as Wonder Woman, but I don't think until now did I realize maybe she's not that good of an actress. I mean, she can be good, she's just not good here due to the uninteresting writing and lack of character. So the whole time I didn't see Rachel Stone, I saw Gal Gadot in the movie, and the whole time I thought I was watching a movie rather than forgetting I'm watching a movie, and was invested in the characters or the story. This movie has nothing. It had a 20-minute opening action sequence that looked fake, then a chase that, as I said, led to a pointless plot element that without it, this movie wouldn't be more than 2 hours long. I guess other than the performances were fine, I didn't care. The closest I got was Keya, I guess, but it's the basic art of realizing maybe she's working for the gag guys. What did you think? What? Do these people want to kill people? What did you think? Do you think these people are good? Like, oh, well, they're doing a few wrongs, but they're doing it for the right reason. No! Anyway, so she becomes good, but I don't care about the actual villain in the movie. I don't care about the people in charge of the agency. I don't care about Gadot. The action is generic and forgettable, and It could have ended at any point, and I wouldn't have cared. When I first thought it ended, I thought it was anticlimactic, since I never actually saw the Doomsday weapon in use, which I didn't fully understand what was to take to stop it, or what would have been like in action. Basically, it's just an EMP, but they say it's AI. And comparing the movie, like the opening of this movie to the opening of Dead Reckoning, showing off the true potential of AI in that movie, like, wow, that's actually like really big threat if it, like, this got into the wrong hands. Like, this is what it could do on its own. What if the worst people got their hands on it? Well, this movie says, yeah, but we just need to stop it because, you know, evil's bad, so we need to stop it. Like, yeah, evil's bad, and I'm not saying a movie can't have just a generic evil is bad movie, but you know what a good movie has? Something for me to care about, a little. I just didn't like this movie for anything it had going for it. It's a movie that you put on in the background while doing other stuff, and that's all I have left to say about the movie. This just is a movie you put on the background, and God was I tempted to just go on my phone and look up something else to do. This isn't an atrocious movie, okay? It's hard to get through. I just expect if I was tired, I'd fall asleep when Gal Gadot jumped off the plane or whatever happened because I wouldn't care to pay attention otherwise. It's a movie filled with action sequences to check off a list of, okay, we need a scene here and a scene there, make it 2 hours. This movie is just nothing, it really is, and it less so pissed me off, it just made me question why I wasted my time. It's not the worst thing to watch, it's just easily one of the bottom of my list of films this year for being just a nothing movie. But hey, if other people got enjoyment out of this, it is serviceable in the general sense of it's a movie to watch for a movie night. I won't remember this movie the next day, but I'll be like, oh yeah, that one Gal Gadot movie. Why did this get a sequel? I give Heart of Stone a 3 out of 10. Speaking of movies I wish I liked, well, I say speaking of, but I forget what sentence came before this one. I probably said something. Anyways, speaking of movies I wish I liked, that's it. I really did want to say I liked this movie. Damn it, I didn't. Miguel Wants to Fight is a new comedy coming-of-age film on Hulu that is only 75 minutes long and still feels way too long for the premise. The movie is written by Keya Serrano and Jason Concepcion and directed by Oz Rodriguez. The premise is that 17-year-old nice but somewhat dumb and naive teenager Miguel, played by Tyler Dean Flores, has lived with his 3 best friends, Cass, played by Amani Lewis, David, played by Christian Benapola, and Srini, played by Siraj Partha. I'll put the text here because I probably butchered that and I'm an idiot. Anyways, with them being normal teenagers, making dumb videos and talking about anime, these 4 are close to each other. And, very authentic and real. But after Miguel avoids a fight, he realizes he's never actually gotten into a fight his whole life, despite being this kind of neighborhood where people just get into fights all the time over stupid stuff. And, walk away like nothing, but it makes him question his place when he learns his family's moving in a week to a better neighborhood since his mom gets a new job. Miguel wants to prove himself and others he is tough and strong enough before he leaves. So without telling them why he wants to actually fight, he says he just wants to, get into a fight because they tease him when, clearly he just wants to, he's moving. You get the idea. So yeah, he recruits his friends to get him into a real fight, with the rules being it has to be someone who deserves it and has to throw the first punch, You can't just randomly go to some homeless guy on the street and punch him in the face. The movie follows his antics of trying to find someone to fight, which at first I was into. I really liked the believable friendship. And while sure I wouldn't do this, no, but it makes sense why Miguel would think this is what he wants at first. Look, the movie has plenty of laughs, so I wouldn't say that funny or memorable. The only one off the top of my head I remember is someone mistakes the Enter the Dragon outfit from being from Kill Bill. Someone my age, yeah, that would be someone the mistake would make. But there's this turning point in the movie that honestly really ruins the movie for me. So Miguel is this dumb kid who is nice, too nice for his own good, and it's kind of funny to see him try to break out of his shell. But there's a scene that really takes away the entire charm and makes him, way too dumb, where I'm like, okay, he's dumb, but he's not this stupid of a character, where before I think he would apologize for what he said, but he never does, and when others try to explain to him that his plea to want to fight is wrong, and why he's doing it is stupid, he still goes for it, where his character isn't some nice but dumb teen anymore, and it 180s into a selfish douchebag, and it makes more sense if this movie was developed, there's this gradual continuation of him getting this ego boost or something, but it's no, it just comes out of nowhere. It just... When I said people explain to him the obvious message and he still wants to fight, the movie drags out as much as it can to see how long it can take before, the movie can end, before it's yeah, you learned this 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago. Why is this still going on? For what I like about the movie at first, it doesn't have enough charm or cleverness to work as a movie, but rather maybe a TV show episode. Like, this is a good idea. There are a ton of fantasy sequences. Like I said, he fights someone in, a kill, Enter the Dragon type setting, which, someone who has seen Enter the Dragon and not any other Bruce Lee movie, thank God it's that one, because, I'm not cultured. Is that the right word to use? Anyways, yeah, so Miguel imagines fantasy sequences of how the fights would go, and while each one is distinct, it becomes clear to me it's padding the movie out, since it repeats a lot of the same joke. Miguel wants to fight someone, he can't fight this person, so on to the next. I had more laughs than I didn't, and while I get why others would really like this movie, I'm honestly glad if other people said this is one of their favorite comedies in a while. Honestly, the third act of the movie really drags out and ruins all the goodwill that the main character had for me to go along with this dumb idea. Because I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't do this, but I get why he would. To me being like, no, I don't care that you want to do this. This is just stupid, and you're not really improving as a character for most of this movie. You're just getting worse. Which, sure, I know other people might get enjoyment out of that. To me, I don't. And honestly, even if that's the point, I didn't get enjoyment out of that. I honestly think that worked against what this movie was setting up. Honestly, it would have worked better if maybe halfway he does find someone who agrees to fight him, in the ring, since another reason he wants to fight is his father is, a coach at a gym, and it's like, okay, if it had him be like finally someone agreed him to fight, but it's like a real fight, like in the boxing ring, and it's like, oh god, he could actually get really hurt if someone gives him their all. Have him be, the first half, him someone to find the fight, and then the rest of it, he's training for it, do all the training stuff he does in the movies he watches. He watches a lot of fighting movies. Have him try to actually do the stuff he does for videos, but for real, and realize it's actually way harder than it is to do in real life than it is on camera, or making it look real. But this repetitive storytelling and lack of consistency with its lead makes me not want to watch this movie again. I want to like it more, but I don't. And I really don't ever want to watch this movie again because of that. The movie has a talent throughout, behind, and in front of the camera, and it wears its heart on its sleeve about what it loves and what makes its movie its own. Without being just like a reminder of what's come before. It has its own unique style, its vision, and so forth. It's like, I really want to like this movie. And if it works for others, I'm glad. It just didn't work for me. I just don't want to step into the ring with this movie again anytime soon, but for anyone else, give it a shot. I give Miguel Wants to Fight a 5.5 out of 10.